In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the story of Benjyfishy. Now, this video is made by Ace, who makes some amazing Fortnite documentaries. Be sure to go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below, and let's get into the video.
Benjyfishy is one of only a few people in the gaming scene to go pro in multiple games.
Facts.
Going from a tier 1 pro in Fortnite to now signing to another tier 1 team in Valorant with a chance to play on the big
actually
stage.
insane.
Today
like,
we're going to take a look at his career in
bro.
both games to see exactly how he got here. As a young kid, Benji was always extremely competitive in sports and gaming, but he wouldn't start competing in tournaments until he was introduced to CSGO. And from the ages of 11 to 13, he would put in over 3,000 hours on the game.
Gosh,
now, even though he would go on to become extremely successful creating a career off of his dream playing video games, his life wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. Before Benji would even turn 1 year old, his father would sadly pass away, leaving his mother that we all know now as Mama Benjyfishy to raise 2 kids all on her own.
Nice.
And at the time, she didn't even have a job, so in order to pay the rent and feed her kids, she ended up getting 3 of them. Even though times were tough, she was working extremely hard in order to make sure Benji had all the time he needed in order to become a professional gamer, where other parents wouldn't even do that. So Benji, thankful for this opportunity, would make sure to not let her down. Not long after this, Benji would start playing the game that would change his life forever. Fortnite. His first stream playing the game would be in March of 2018, a few months after the release of the Battle Royale. Now, Benji wouldn't continue the streams that much throughout this year, but instead he would take the time to hone his skills to become as good as possible. And it was working. He was slowly starting to become one of the best players in EU. Now, even though there were competitive events being hosted back then, many players like Benji weren't able to compete because they were under the minimum age requirement of 16.
Dude, but now people like lie about that
everything
stuff.
would change for him. Epic announced online tournaments where you only had to be 13 to compete. On top of that, they would also later announce the Fortnite World Cup, one of the largest events in gaming history with a $40 million prize pool. These online tournaments would begin early in the year, and Benji was already on top of the leaderboards. However, none of these had a prize pool quite yet. But he was still getting his name out there, especially because he decided to pick up streaming again. And since there were so many people interested in these tournaments already, he started gaining hundreds of viewers per stream. This would continue for a month until he would start to see massive growth. The Scallywag Cup was announced, and it was the first chance for players to make money online. So teaming up with Mr. Savage, they would place 18th, getting their first earnings. And afterwards, they would go on to do extremely well in the upcoming tournaments. Because of this, he would get his first big break. After seeing Benji could possibly be one of the biggest players in the game, one of the largest organizations in esports, NRG, would reach out to him and end up signing him as one of their first competitors in Fortnite. After this, it was time for the World Cup qualifiers, and right beforehand, Savage and Benji would end up winning the warm-up for it. So with Benji looking like one of the best players in the world, it was time to see if he could back it up.
That was the warm-up. Oh. Nice. He got somebody with the trap. Okay. Benji's the best. Nice.
He's white. Knock him.
No way.
Go, dead. Hey,
yo, Benji's too good. He's cracked. No wonder he went to Val.
Yeah. What? Dead? Let's go, dude.
Crazy.
He would end up qualifying for both the solo and duo events, after placing 3rd in the first week and 1st in the second week with Savage.
That's
and
crazy.
Not only did he qualify within the first 2 weeks, he would go on to do it another 3 times.
What?
Heading into New York, Benji wanted to win extremely badly, and he would say that his main motivation for it was to buy his mom a house. But sadly, that didn't happen. He didn't do that bad, placing 14th in duos and 25th in solos, but he would end up just shy of making extra money. However, he still walked away with a light $100,000.
Oh, that's...
Now, even though he didn't perform how he wanted to in New York, Season X was about to be one of his best seasons ever. The very first FNCS was announced, and since it was trios, he needed to find one. So in the end, he would decide to split up with Savage for the first time, and instead join Mongrel and Metro to create MMB. One of the best trios the world has ever seen.
Oh snap, bro. Damn.
MMB would go on to have one of the most insane runs in this game's history, placing second, first, and first throughout the qualifiers for FNCS, making themselves over $130,000
Oh my gosh.
But the grand finals were still coming up. And if they did well, they would undoubtedly be the best trio ever. But unfortunately, after some off-spawn and mech issues, they would find themselves in 10th
I know about
place.
that mech stuff.
Not bad, but just not what they wanted. However, we were now going into Chapter 2.
Wait, they got 10th.
And with a new map, it gave them a fresh start. FNCS was now going to be squads, and this time, Benji and Mongrel would decide to split from Mitro and instead pick up Nate and Wolfies. In the qualifiers, they continued to play very consistently and made it to the grand finals. But nobody was really ready for how good they would do.
Go for Mats! Go for Mats! Knocked one! One shot!
Nice. Oh my gosh. Did that trap kill him? Oh damn.
Take the slide! Get me! I can't! Dead! I'm getting dominated.
Dude, imagine he's constantly dominating like that? What the hell?
Nice! I'm so good!
They would get second place, Benji's best FNCS performance ever. So going into Season 2, he was hoping to continue the momentum. And with FNCS now being duos, he would decide to play with Mongrel. But unfortunately, this season would end up being one of his worst ones yet. It would make the heat for FNCS, but just barely fall short of making it into the grand finals. However, there were the solo FNCS invitationals that same season, a chance for him to redeem himself. And he would end up dominating the qualifiers, winning the first 2 weeks. But when it came time to the grand finals, he would fall short again, placing 56th. Now, throughout the rest of Chapter 2, he continued to play pretty consistently, getting a 59th, 8th, 4th, 25th, 23rd, and 15th in the grand finals. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time, not bad. But going into Chapter 3, Benji was starting to lose passion for the game. He would end up streaming and playing less and less. So with that came more bad placements, which made him want to play even less. So at this point, it was just a downward spiral. And a big reason for this was a new game that was starting to take over, Valorant. Benji was starting to play more and more after his Fortnite streams, to the point where it pretty much turned into his main game. Sadly, soon after, Benji would play his last Fortnite tournament, which would be Chapter 3, Season 2's FNCS Grand Finals, where he would finish in 45th place. But it wasn't until over a month later, in June of 2022, where he would officially announce he will be quitting Fortnite and attempting to go pro in Valorant. This was a big blow to the Fortnite community. Around this time, Fortnite was seeing some of its worst viewership in years, and we had just seen even more big names leave the game. So with Benji leaving, it was a real big blow to the gut. And with that came some haters, telling Benji he's never going to go pro in Valorant and he should just come back to Fortnite.
I think Benji
was determined to prove all the haters wrong.
Like, actually. Damn.
Not long after playing, he would soon hit Radiant, actually reaching top 5 on the global leaderboard. And around this time, he would end up joining a small team made up of other free agents in order to play some smaller tournaments. And after showing that he could compete with some of the top players, in December, just a few months after attempting to go pro, he would get signed to his first pro team, Enterprise Esports. And in his first split with them, he managed to place second with his new team. And on top of that, he would also get Rookie of the Year. And he wouldn't stop there. In the second split of his career, he managed to get another second place. So with Benji still able to pull really good viewers while playing, and proving he is a top competitor in the scene, he was finally going to get the chance he had been striving for since playing the game.
Hell yeah,
in July of 2023, Benji would officially join Team Heretics, a tier 1 team in EU Valorant who had a franchise spot. So that means Benji now had the opportunity to possibly compete on the big stage in VCT,
which
and he wouldn't disappoint.
You
just went nuclear.
I'm nading him.
Now, even though he was playing well, he joined the team in July, and this was after the main qualifiers to compete in VCT, so he was only able to play the last chance qualifier, where they would unfortunately finish in 5th out of the 6 teams. And so far, this team has only played 2 other tournaments together.
Yeah, they came back.
However, right now, competitive Valorant is in their off-season, and VCT won't start back up again until January of 2024. So right now, only time will tell to see how he does. Now, even though Benji is only focused on Valorant right now, he did make a return to the game that started everything. As you all know, Fortnite had announced their OG season, going back to the Chapter 1 map. And at first, it wasn't looking like Benji would actually return. But recently, he decided to hop on one last time and ended up running it back with Mr. Savage, Mongrel, and Clicks. But unfortunately for them, the stream sniping was pretty insane and they weren't even able to get a single win.
Damn.
And sadly, this might be the last time we see him return to the game, as there's really just nothing left for him to do on
What is that turret again?
My guess is he'll probably hop on a couple more times throughout the season to play, but after that, probably just leave for good. But so far, Benji has already had an insane career, reaching over $600,000 earned in Fortnite and over $2,000 earned in Valorant.
Damn.
But not only has his career flourished, he's also gained over 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube and 4 million followers on Twitch.
That's crazy.
So if it's not obvious already, Benji will do whatever it takes to achieve his dreams. So now, all we can do is sit back and see what else he decides to accomplish in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your days.
W. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And if there's a video you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. Peace.